Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be talking everything mobile bidding software for virtual events, fusion or hybrid events, and even in-person fundraising events, if you can remember what those are. I'm Misty Marquam, founder and principal benefit auctioneer at Marquam Auction Agency, and I'm super excited to host this conversation today because mobile bidding and software solutions for fundraising events benefiting schools, nonprofits, and organizations attempting to continue to fundraise during this pandemic has likely been our clients' #1 pain point for the last year. And with so much to know and so much we didn't or don't even still know, I invited 4 of my good friends and experts on this very topic to join us today to share their wisdom and help us demystify mobile bidding software. I chose 3 fundraising event software solutions and 1 user experience expert so I could facilitate a meaningful, information-packed, and relevant webinar for you today. My goals are to educate you on what your options are, what mobile bidding software can do functionality-wise for you, and how your chosen solution impacts your fundraising from the user experience side. Today, we'll lead an overview of mobile bidding software features, literally what they can actually do, and discuss how to select the right functionality for your event needs. And finally, we'll review our 10 most frequently asked questions we get from clients and prospects and provide answers from our varying points of view. And to finish up, we'll save a few minutes at the end for questions and answers as well. So please drop any questions you have as they come up directly into the chat feature, and we'll answer all those at the end. I'm hoping you're ready. So let's dive in. Allow me to introduce our very first guest, my good friend from Greater Giving, Ms. Debbie Roth.
Hey everyone. Thank you, Misty. It's nice to be here. I am Debbie Roth Bush. I am the Senior Strategic Relationship Manager from Greater Giving. I've had the privilege for the last 13 years to be part of a team that helps nonprofits raise more through our integrated products. We do that with event management software, and mobile bidding, fast and secure PCI Level 1 payment collection, online donations, peer-to-peer products, and within a few days we'll be launching our text to donate solution. If you'd like to know more about us, please check out Greater Giving it's greatergiving.com, and hit the info request or download a trial of the software and check out how we can do it. And you can connect with me directly. I'll drop my information in chat at some point. And if you want to reach out to me directly, I'd be glad to help out. And now, please meet Rebecca Alfred from Trellis.
Thanks, Debbie. Hi, I'm Rebecca. Technically, my title is Charity Relationships Lead, but what that really means is I get to work with our clients to educate them on what's working in the virtual event space and help them build fundraisers with multiple revenue drivers so that they can raise more for their organizations. In our demos, I love to share details around what other organizations are doing and how they're hitting their goals, as well as just sharing industry insights so you can make really wise decisions for your organizations too. And the Trellis platform, we power events with your ticketing, silent and live auctions, funding needs, raffles, donations, item sales, peer-to-peer, and third-party fundraising. We've heard a lot of feedback from our event organizers as well as auctioneers that they get more donations and bids when donors can do it all in one place. So that's what we've built, especially for integrated fundraisers like galas or golf tournaments. We provide a really seamless experience. It might not be something you've considered, but if you have lots of different fundraising elements, you have to consider what your donor experience is like. And when they make these purchases, we've designed our platform to support a seamless experience from ticket sales to auctions and even to live streaming on the day. We built tons of resources, especially for virtual events, which you can find on our website, trellis.org, if you want to learn more. I'm also pleased to introduce Roger Devine from schoolauctions.net.
Thank you, Rebecca. And hey there, everybody. As Rebecca said, I'm Roger. I founded schoolauction.net with 3 other guys about 15 years ago. We have full service auction software to help you run your fundraising auction pretty much any way you want to do it, whether that's an in-person event, online, or a combination of the two. We introduced our single screen virtual live auction feature last year with integrated live streaming. And although our primary brand is schoolauction.net, we do work with all sorts of nonprofit organizations, not just school-based ones. And other things about me, I think I've lost count, but I probably chaired about 38 auctions myself. That's kind of an occupational hazard, but it does mean I can get pretty deep in the weeds talking auction strategy with anybody who likes to spend their time that way. And now I'm so delighted to introduce everybody's favorite, my friend and our user experience expert for the day here, Kristen Smith from Event Savvy.
Thanks, Roger. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be with you all here today. And as my friend Roger said, I'm Kristen Smith, owner of Event Savvy. I've been partnering with nonprofits for over 10 years now, as well as working production and box office management for larger events like Blues Fest, the Portland Auto Show, doing full production for Snowvana. And in the last year, I have worked on over, I think, 50 virtual events, helping support our clients and partners with their mobile bidding platforms, as well as helping to craft the storytelling, and have pivoted, as I'm sure all of us have had to do in the last year. So I hear everyone's feedback and all about all of the different platforms and user experience a lot. So I've got a lot to share. If you ever have questions, happy to go over anything with anybody. I'll put my info in the chat also. And I am very much looking forward to putting on a first in-person event in over a year, hopefully at the end of summer with the McMinnville Wine and Food Classic. So looking forward to that, being in live.
That's exciting. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Rebecca, for being with us today and sharing your expertise. We really appreciate it. I feel super good about the breadth of experience we have representing today. So panelists, please drop your contact info into the chat so that attendees can contact you post-webinar and learn more about your platform or ask any questions that they have. As well, all attendees, please drop any questions that come up during the webinar. Type them in the chat, and we'll save a few minutes at the end to answer as many of them as we can. And again, we're recording this. We will send this to you, so we will flood you with information. So what is mobile bidding software? Let's just start at the very beginning. Mobile bidding software allows for paperless, cloud-based registration and transactions directly from any internet-enabled device like a smartphone, computer, or even a smart TV. Good mobile bidding software will also deliver a multitude of functions, automations, data organization, collection, and reporting methods. And today we'll also discuss great mobile bidding solutions. And these are what you need for today's live fundraising events. And by live, I mean those that are either 100% virtual, a hybrid or a fusion fundraiser, which is what we're calling them, and even in person. So pretty much all events. Kristen, would you want to give us an overview of what good software must have from the client and the guest's point of view?
Absolutely. So good software, something you need to just get an event off the ground. You need to be able to host an online event, have a presence online. Basically, that's an event landing page with a custom branded look and feel. It can be simple, but customization of what you do varies significantly from platform to platform. So you just really need to know what you're looking for before you choose. You need to be able to register or sign up guests. That's very important. And then cash donations, do they have to sign up or can they give one time easily? This is a question you want to ask. So collect contact information, credit card vaulting, and be able to track your guests as they're signing up. Data exports with real-time results, that's important. You need to be able to sell or comp tickets easily. So tickets for individuals, sponsorships, and table sales for both virtual and in person, and be able to kind of switch back and forth. You need to be able to collect suggested donations in lieu of a ticket price. That is becoming more popular now. You also would like to have donors, so in-kind donations, be able to donate through the site. That is one of my favorite features. And then obviously you need to find out if you can bid during an event on this software, or can you purchase auction items? So you want to ask this question. Not all of them have bidding as an actual option. So there's also raffles, sign-up parties, and other revenue streams that you'll want to check and see if they can handle it. And that can be online or in person, and you want to be able to switch. There's donor and data management, credit card vaulting, make sure they can store it safely and securely. See and sort. So back-end options for the clerks during the virtual and fusion events, allowing the auctioneer on the stage to be able to recognize people by name easily. And can donations be presented visually to viewers? So is there a thermometer screen or a ticker pop-up that you can customize and show your viewers to kind of incentivize them to donate more? And can you sort it by denomination? And then communication to your guests. Do you want to be able to text and email blast your guests from the actual software, or do you have another way to do that? And then back-end reporting is important. There's lots of different variations from software to software with that. All of these elements are something you're going to want to be included in your mobile bidding platform of choice to do the minimum needed to execute your virtual event.
Absolutely. And I would add that in addition to what we are asking for of a good software, great software can handle all of that, plus some things that we're finding to be super helpful in virtual and fusion land, which are things like, you know, an all-in-one device option, so that you don't have to necessarily watch on one screen and bid from another. But again, that's a conversation for your organization, because some people like that. I would say to extensive customization, so that you can brand your event, you can change the look, you can change the feel, and you can start to do some storytelling, get people emotionally engaged. I think being user friendly for the organization, but mostly for the guest, so that the guest has a positive experience. I think that's really, really important. Also, I think the option to add photos and or video to showcase your auction packages or any of your revenue streams that are for sale. And becoming more and more popular are peer-to-peer and crowdfunding options. So, you know, maybe they have templates to share with friends and you can expand your reach via social while free. We like that. Also, what has been coming up a lot lately is a text to give function or option. So folks who don't want to necessarily get registered and go that route have a way to give. And we love any type of chat feature with minimal latency, so that you can actually have a real auction, you know, and you're not delayed so much. Of course, becoming more and more popular now too is the ability to track and sell delivered items like meals, wine, anything that you would be, you know, delivering to your VIP people who paid a ticket price. And again, I think extensive and customizable back-end reporting is important, as well as dynamic communication to your guests in the moment. So you can blast everybody with a text or an email. And I think comprehensive marketing capabilities and social media analytics are super helpful, but not required, but great. You know, these are the great functions that we believe are best serving nonprofits, schools, and fundraising events right now. But let's pause for a quick poll. So this is for all of you viewing out there. Your answers to this question will help us navigate how in-depth our answers will be in the upcoming section discussing how to select mobile bidding software. So poll number 1, what is your level of experience with mobile bidding software? Right? Have you never used it before? You have no idea. Have you used it in the past for in-person events? Or have you used it both in person and virtual? Take a couple seconds right now and please put your answers into the poll. We'd love to reveal who's done what. And this will help us navigate, again, how in-depth we're going to get with our answers. So please submit your answers right now. And then let's reveal when we have them what our results say. Yes, and Emily, I like the fusion term too better than hybrid, because I think hybrid could mean anything, but fusion is specifically for fundraisers, and I like the alliteration. So can we get the results of our poll, please? Let's see what we've got here. All right. 51% of you have used both in-person and virtual events. I love it. followed by trailing at 33% with we've never used anything, no idea, and 16% of you have used them for in-person events. So panelists, take note. Most of our viewers today have used it both for in-person and virtual events. Thank you so much for answering our question, everybody. Which leads us into our next section. How do you select mobile bidding software for your event and its needs? And I think the easiest way to answer this question is to start by defining what exactly do you need your software to do? How do you wish your viewer or your guests or donor experience to look? How do you want it to feel? How do you want it to be? And is the software intuitive to use on the back end, or will you need help? And there's options for that. What will your event or fundraiser offer? You know, will you be offering a live auction? Will it just be a fund a need or a special appeal? Will you be selling anything? And will you be online only? Will you have a live virtual live stream component? Will you be doing a fusion or an in-person event? Because all of these matter. And what else should be considered, Kristen? What am I forgetting?
Yeah, I think the other biggest question that comes up for me when I'm consulting is, do you want to have a one-screen solution, or are you okay with your viewers bidding and participating on their phone or another source and watching on a different one? So do you want them to be donating and bidding all in one screen? That's the biggest question I have right now with people. Do you need to communicate to your guests via the software? That's also a big one. So do you need the features where you can send them text reminders and email communications? And then do you really need to be able to tell your story and spell it out with the help of the software? Or are you doing that through your website on your own or some other way and you don't maybe need that feature?
Great additions, absolutely. And today, for our purposes, since all of our chosen and recommended platforms can register guests, collect donations, and sell revenue streams and auction items, we'll all assume that everyone we have today with us covers the good functions. So let's talk a little bit about the great ones so that you can better understand what you might want or need. And this brings me to a topic that is coming up more and more often. And Rebecca, this topic is trending right now. Can you tell us a little bit about how mobile bidding software and storytelling can get married and hold hands and be friendly?
Definitely. Organizations that we're seeing right now use our platform are raising about 25% more with their fundraisers. And there's actually two key reasons why. One is they're using their event page to tell a story. And two, connected to that, they are then pushing people to make donations. So the first one, using your event page to tell a story. So a great platform is going to allow you to tell your organization's story with branded text, with images and video. And using a combination of all three are going to allow you to really get creative around what do you do as an organization and why does that story matter and why do you need to share that with your donors as well. I've seen organizations on our platform use emotional videos, impact numbers, and highlight the work that their organization has done. If you've got a virtual bartender or a live cooking demonstration that's going to be part of your event, share that on your page, get your donors excited. Or maybe you've got an emotional video that's going to highlight the impact that your organization has made in the past year. Use those different elements to educate your donors around what you do and why it matters. Then the second part of that is pushing people to donations. Sharing donation options in a strategic way lets your donors know more about what you do and why giving to your organization matters. We encourage our users to make their donations really tangible. So saying something like $100 feeds a family of 4 breakfast for a week. I feel ownership over what I get to give to when I can understand and really see the impact that my dollars make. And last thing on that is it doesn't actually start on your donation page. To really start this off, it's building an effective email campaign to drive people to give, or having QR codes, which just makes it easy for your donors to participate and give to your organization.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. That was very fuel-filled. People, I hope you're digesting this information. It's gold right now. And now that you know a little bit more about storytelling and your events, Debbie, I'd love for you to address a few things that we get asked all the time. How does software track and sell things like delivered meals, for example? Tell us more about custom back-end reporting. And give us a little overview about, if you will, the dynamic giving thermometer so that folks can see the bids coming in and see the money raising.
Okay, well, you're having an event, you've built a website, you're selling, maybe you're selling a choice of 2 or 3 different dinners, or you're selling a VIP box that they're going to pick up. The software then can run a report. Let's say you did choose 3 different restaurants. You can give each restaurant the list of the people who purchased it, and it's a report that you can run. And they can check that off as people pull up curbside to pick up their meal that they're going to enjoy that night. Same thing if you were just going to do a pickup of like a VIP box, a drive-by. I've done that with the Bunny Slipper Gala that I participated in. I just drove by during a certain window of time and they gave me my box. Our software has something like 160 different reports in it. All of those are built because nonprofits ask for them. So you can run these and customize them. And then, we have a great view for the auctioneers on bidding and seeing the donations coming in. Here's the vision of the thermometer. The name pops up, and you've got a scrolling gratitude reel at the bottom of the screen. You could choose to put up your sponsors as well. I think for the fund and need, though, it's really valuable to have the name appearing. But we've got great back-end views for the auctioneers to see donations and bids coming in, and it's near real time.
That's awesome. Thank you, Debbie. And again, folks, if you have questions about any of these more in depth, please contact Debbie, Rebecca, Roger, and Kristen personally after. They'd be happy to discuss this stuff with you because I know it's a lot. But we're drinking from a fire hose today. So Roger, you're up next. Would you give us a brief overview of an all-in-one device solution, talk a little bit about chat, and then talk about how latency can impact fundraising, if you would?
Oh boy, strap in everybody. Okay, this is going to go quickly. I'm going to start with chat. Chat is insanely important in virtual events because that's where the party is. Okay, fundraising events have to be both a fundraiser and a social event. Virtual events struggle with the social part of it. So chat is one of the best tools you've got for that. You want to encourage the chatting. What you're really hoping for is that you're going to get some good-natured trash talk going on between your guests during the course of your virtual event. Okay, moving on to latency. Latency, in case you don't know the term, is that inherent delay in any video stream going out. We're all consuming a whole lot of streaming video these days in our work and in our, when we sit down and watch Netflix at night, etc. So let me break down, what you need to know at the very, very highest levels here to understand this. There are low latency video delivery solutions. Latency is that delay. So a low latency solution would be like a 1 to 5 second delay. And then there are higher latency solutions. High latency solutions are perfectly fine and, as a matter of fact, advantageous for things like watching Netflix, where it doesn't have to be real time. But with auctions, my personal, my personal bias here is to say you want as low latency as possible so that the two-way communication becomes feasible. So that, you've got communication going in one direction, the auctioneer is talking to the audience, it's coming back in chat. You really don't want those things to be separated by 45 seconds or a minute, because then that totally kneecaps any ability for any sort of two-way flow going there. Okay. But lower latency solutions do come with, a little bit lower video quality. So that is definitely something you need to be aware of and work into your considerations there. The other choice that you have to make that is on my plate to explain right now is whether or not you want to go with a 1-screen solution or a 2-screen solution. Hot debate on this. Lots of people have differing opinions on these. Personally, I'm a little biased in favor of a 1-screen solution. That is 1 device, 1 login per guest. They don't have to log into 2 places. They don't have to have 2 devices working. They don't have to juggle what they're looking at any given time. But the 2-screen solution has its advantages too. With a 2-screen solution, video setup is often much easier. And You can do things of two screen solutions are a little bit better for things like fusion events or for virtual events where you're going to be holding watch parties where people are going to be gathering together inside a host's home, maybe 3 or 4 people together so we can all do it safely. And you can put the video up on a big screen TV while people bid on their phones. That works too. You can do it either way. Most of the solutions that we're talking about today, as a matter of fact, I think all 3 of them can offer you the option of going single screen or dual screen. So you've got some flexibility in there. But when you do talk to any of us or any of our competitors about this, make sure you get some opinions on, what's going to work best for your situation and your organization. I also am pretty sure that Kristen's got some pretty strong opinions about this that she's going to share with us in a little bit. So I'll wrap this up. Did I stay within my time limit, Misty?
Yeah, you did great. Thanks, Roger.
Oh, thank you.
And I would say too, folks, do your homework. Watch some of these virtual galas. Watch one screen solutions. Watch two screen solutions. See what you like the best too, because your opinion matters. And thank you, Roger, for all of that. And thanks to all of our panelists. Those are great answers. And as you can see, folks, there are a lot of things to consider when you're choosing mobile bidding. And there's not a right or wrong answer. So I urge you to reach out to all of our guests today for more in-depth answers to all of your burning questions. But we're moving on. So I took the liberty of compiling all of our most frequently asked questions, all 5 of us. And I pulled the ones that seem to overlap the most. And we're going to take a stab right now at answering them. So with that, we're going to move into our top 10 most frequently asked questions we get about mobile bidding software. Are you ready? All right, let's do this. FAQ number 1. How does my existing software translate for virtual and or fusion events? And I'm going to allow each of our panelists to answer with a 30-second limit. So Debbie, let's start with you, and then we'll move to Roger, and then Rebecca, and then Kristen.
Okay, well, our mobile bidding platform for both in-person and virtual events was pretty robust and ready to go when everything pivoted. And Misty was one of our very first auctioneers out there with a very large grossing school event. We did add the giving board, which gave you that thermometer, and we did add a one-screen solution where you can embed the YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook into your stream so it can all appear on one screen. But you have many options. Reach out to our client support team and they will help you set your event up.
Awesome. Roger, what do you say?
Well, okay, so first of all, last year, all of you out there who are watching had to adjust your plans. And, we all tossed around the word pivot quite a lot. I think we're all sick of it now. But on our end, all of us on this call, we had to adapt too. So we all did. We added our virtual live auction feature, single screen and then dual screen. And we've been, beefing up our online bidding features and things for other online fundraising types of campaigns, which we'll get to in a little while, over the last 11 months. So we're ready to help with any kind of event you got going on there. So we're ready. If you're using our software, it's ready.
Thanks, Roger. Rebecca, what is Trellis doing these days?
Yeah, so Trellis was designed for virtual, in-person, and everything in between. Through our tools, we're seeing organizations make the most of fundraising when it's completely virtual or seamlessly blending an experience when it's fusion. So some people in the room and some watching online. And so all of our tools are real time so that regardless of where people are participating in the room or not, they're going to get the same experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you to our panelists. On to FAQ number 2. And Roger, I'm going to aim this one at you, my friend. What is all this about live streaming? Live streaming is kind of new to folks as of about a year ago for most of us. So tell us briefly in about a minute, tell us all about live streaming.
Well, if you're going to hold a live auction and or a special appeal virtually, can't have people in the ballroom there. And if you've been smart enough to hire a talented benefit auctioneer to help you, you really, really need to get real-time video of that auctioneer in front of your guests during the auction. And why am I emphasizing real time? I'm emphasizing real time because the auctioneer needs feedback from the bidders. They need to see the bids as they come in. They need to see the chat messages. to effectively work the sale. You're paying the auctioneer here to help you raise more money than you would raise without them. Give them the tools to read that virtual room and work the sale on every single item there. So, it's kind of a challenge. It's a challenge to get that real-time video out and make it look good and get it out there. But, the same underlying technology we're using in this Zoom meeting today is something that we can bring to bear for all of our fundraising auctions. The last thing I'll say, though, is please, please, please hire somebody with experience to help you produce and deliver your live stream. Most of you have not done it before. And although you can find people, you can find very talented volunteers to do this for you, they're a little hit and miss. So, please, when you're doing this, you can call any of us, you can email any of us. We're all going to have referrals for you. We've got companies that we've worked with that we trust now. And so please, please, please hire somebody who knows what they're doing.
Amen. And I would also piggyback on that, Roger, to say, hire somebody who knows what they're doing to produce the event, but then also hire somebody like our partner who's producing this event today, Seamless Event Solutions, to do the technology for you, because there's a lot to it, which we've all learned. So thank you for that. FAQ number 3, everybody. This is our third most frequently asked question. Do donors need to download an app or anything else to participate? And I'm going to have all of our panelists answer this. So Debbie, let's start with you, my friend.
No, there is no app to download. This is browser-based. So you push out a link either through email, your social media, people register. When you're streaming, you can put a friendly URL up that they can log in and donate or bid on the fly from any device that connects to the internet.
Thank you. Roger?
Same thing here. I think, apps are fading in the background. They're harder to maintain, and people don't like downloading more things to their phones. So a browser-based solution we think makes the most sense. We've been browser-based from the beginning, so it was never a hard transition for us.
Right on. Rebecca, what is Trellis doing with?
Yeah, nothing to download on our end either. Our platform is all internet or browser-based as well.
Right on. So it sounds like it's an overwhelming no to this question. Phew. That's a lot of stuff. I think we need a little brain butter break right now. So here's a question for you viewers. Please type your answer right in the chat right now. Riddle me this. What is the most creative, interesting, or unique item you have seen auctioned off during a live stream or a virtual event? So I'll give you about 10 seconds to type your answers in the chat right now to what is the most creative, interesting, or unique item you've seen auctioned off during a live stream or a virtual event. And I don't see any yet, folks. So, oh, there they are. A chocolate cake. That's awesome. Principal for a day. Flight seeing. I like that. Parking spots. Oh, yeah, Sue. An original Matt Groening Simpsons picture he drew. It was Bart for us with the mask. It was very cute. Custom Zoom background by an artist. I like that, Anthony. Hi, Anthony, by the way. An opportunity to conduct an orchestra. So these are some cool ones. A mystery item, bidding for the live auction started at a few dollars. An artist willing to create custom artwork. I like this. A night on a lighthouse with a champagne picnic. Hey, you might have to introduce me to somebody for that one. King crab feast shipped to your home. Yum. Heritage breed laying hens. I think I need some acreage for that one, but I love it. Brewing your own beer at a microbrewery. I love it. So these, as you can see, virtual auction stuff isn't any more limited than in-person auction items. So I think what we're seeing here is get creative, get outside the box. In fact, burn the box down and let's do auctions. So let's get back to our FAQs. In the meantime, everybody, all of our panelists are going to answer. You'll have 30 seconds to answer our fourth question. Do we need or want a one-screen software solution? And if yes, do you offer one? Debbie.
We offer a choice of both, but there's pros and cons. So there's things you need to consider. You know, when you do a one screen and you're looking at it on your cell phone, that's pretty small. And we're in version 2.0 where you might have upped your visuals and upped what's going on in your stream and you want to show it off. I personally like sitting on the couch with a glass of wine, casting it to the smart TV. It's like it's not work anymore. But you can go both ways. So we leave it up to you.
Thank you, Debbie. Roger.
I'm a fan of the single screen solution. As stated earlier, I just think it's easier and friendlier for your guests to only have to log in once, but you can go either way if you're going to use our software. That's fine. So, yes, one screen, yes, two screen.
Thank you. Rebecca and Kristen, you're up next.
Yeah, we love one screen solutions. It's really simple for your donors. They don't have to switch between different screens and looking different places, and you can just really maintain their focus. But we do also have an online giving portal. So if people choose to give from a second device, they can also do that on our platform.
Right on. That's awesome. And Kristen, I know you have serious thoughts on this question.
I do. Mine coming from a different perspective, obviously, but there's pros and cons for both solutions as far as I'm concerned. I think it's fantastic to be able to offer the one screen option. It is so easy for people to give when they're right there in that screen, but I feel very strongly that there should be another option for people to view. We have this come up all the time where people don't want to have to log in to watch the show. So if you could stream it to YouTube or another streaming source, then it gives those people an opportunity to view the show also.
Totally. Well, thank you. And our next frequently asked question, our fifth most popular one, I'm going to address this to you, Kristen, because I think working with so many different platforms, you have a great and unique perspective on this. But what is the best way to communicate the mobile bidding process to guests or donors who may or may not have ever seen it before?
Yeah, absolutely. This comes up all the time, and we are constantly sending out communications to the guests. It honestly just comes down to hitting them over and over with multiple emails, social media posts, Instagram, Facebook. Use all the tools with clear communication, with the link that lets them sign up to bid, and then the steps in the process. There is a way to line out every single step very easily for them. I like to share screenshots sometimes of what it looks like so they can, have expectations. It's best to just spell those steps out so there's no questions or sticking points as they're going through the process. And then, getting them to sign up and register. We have found that it takes about an average of 4 times for someone to get the link before they actually click on it and go and sign up. So again, you just got to keep sending it out over and over and make it easy. Make it so they can click on it wherever you're putting it, posting it, emailing it. So you get those guests to sign up.
I love what you said, Kristen, about make it easy. I wholeheartedly agree with that. If donors have to work to do anything, you have just lost donations, folks. So make it super easy and over communicate the absolute heck out of everything. So thank you for that. Our sixth most frequently asked question is this, and this is what I'm starting to hear more and more and more. Should we or should we not sell tickets to our event? Should we offer it for free or should we sell tickets? And Debbie, I would love to hear your perspective on this one.
Well, when this all first happened, a lot of you had already sold tickets. After you moved away from that, the later ones did them free just to get the viewers online. And I think the answer is still it depends. My bias is this is a fundraiser. Let's charge for attendance. But maybe you offer something because, of course, at a live event, you'd be getting dinner and possibly drinks. So again, some kind of gift box or mixology class or VIP hour, that can all drive the value for that and be part of that revenue stream. You could do a mix of both. I can register for free and attend, or I can pay an upcharge to get a little something extra. But again, this is a fundraiser, so let's keep on fundraising.
Amen. And as a fundraiser myself, Debbie, I wholeheartedly support this idea of not making it free, whether or not you do suggested donations or an upgraded VIP with a ticket price or several levels of ticket price. I think offset your event costs by ticket just like we do at not real, but in-person events. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, FAQ number 7. We're really trucking here, folks. All of our panelists, you're going to have 15 seconds to answer. Do guests need to enter a credit card number? Debbie.
We have both options. Normally if you're doing the self-registration, they do enter that credit card because that kind of validates you have a real bidder. But there's a way to bypass that in our system and call customer support and figure out which way you want to do it.
Right on. Roger, do guests need to
We leave this up to the chair. You got 3 options. You can either decide to not ask for a credit card, you can ask but not require it, or you can require it. And this is really a decision where we leave this up to you totally. It's a cultural thing. I can't tell you what's right for your audience.
Great answer. Rebecca, how does Trellis deal with this?
Yeah, so to participate in a silent or live auction, donors will be required to put in their card details to start. And then once the auction has closed, they'll automatically get charged. We love this because you don't have to worry about follow-up after your event. And it's also way easier for your donors too.
Agreed. Kristen, having seen it from all sides, what do you say?
Yeah, I am a fan of requiring the credit card as mandatory, but again, as always, there's workarounds for that, right? But it saves you so much on the back end, so you don't have to track down those payments like Rebecca mentioned. It's up to each organization. You know what works best for you, and you can work around this, but I am definitely a fan of requiring it. Is, after all, as we've all mentioned, a fundraiser, right? You want them to give, so. Amen. Can't do that without vaulting that credit card.
I agree wholeheartedly with Kristen. Having watched too many of my clients either have to spend the time tracking it down or just write it off because they're never going to get it. So get those credit cards in. That's my opinion. Not that you asked, but all right. FAQ number 8. Rebecca, I'm going to ask this one of you. What is the viewer or donor experience like? And folks, before you answer, Rebecca, if you have questions about what it's like on any of these platforms, please reach out to them specifically. But Rebecca, you've got 60 seconds to tell us about the viewer donor experience.
Sounds good. Yeah. So when looking for a virtual platform, the donor experience is key. You want something that's going to be seamless and easy to use, so your donors have confidence to give donations. And like Kristen said, this is a fundraiser, so let's encourage people to do that. So some of the questions you're going to want to ask are, do you have older or younger donors? Would it be better for that single screen experience, or would you like to encourage people to have a second device where they maybe use a QR code to participate? And really thinking about, what do you want to create on the night of your event? On Trellis, you can really pick the best option for your donors. So our platform has been designed to enhance the user experience. So what you would do is encourage your donors to come to your Trellis page to buy their tickets, pre-bid on silent auction items, pick up their raffle tickets, all of that. And then on the night of the event, you're going to actually invite them to come back to your Trellis page where they get to now watch the live stream. From there, they can experience the event on a single screen while simply making donations, bidding, or participating in your Friend in Need all in one place. What we love about this is your donors don't have to switch between tabs or miss any part of the event, and you can control it all in one place as well. So on the screen there, you can see, you've got your host, you've got your chat, and you've got your live auction all in one place. So super integrated and makes a really seamless donor experience.
That's awesome. And I will underline that the experience of your donor will be different depending on what platform you go with. So do your homework, people. Talk to these experts right here, watch some galas yourself. And this brings us to FAQ number 9. And everybody's going to answer this question. You have 30 seconds to answer. What kind of help or support does your software offer to your clients to help them get these done?
For Greater Giving, we have live weekly webinar training. We have recorded training, both the full or by topic, maybe 30 seconds to a minute and a half. In software help, we have toll-free phone number for you to call Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 4 PDT. We have email, chat, and you have coverage for support the night of your event, whatever the hour is, you can get through to someone.
Right on. Roger.
Well, we got weekly webinars, recorded videos, extensive integrated help built right into the software there, email support and phone support on the night of your event up until 11 p.m. Pacific, unless you're in Alaska or Hawaii, in which case we'll stay up a little later for you.
Right on. Rebecca, Trellis, tell us
Yeah,
about.
we have a team of fundraising specialists to help you get started with your experience on our platform. So once you're on the platform, we do also have a lot of support options, and we can help you however we can. So live chat, articles and videos, drop-in calls, whatever you need, we've got you covered.
Right on. And Kristen, I know yours is a little bit different because you're not representing software, any one in particular, but tell us your angle on this.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who need or want any additional help than what they want, or just don't have the time to watch their help videos, because they all have amazing support, to be honest. If you don't want to learn all of that, that's what I'm here for, because I already know how to do most of it.
Amen.
Happy to help you.
If what Kristen is trying to say is she is your friend in this environment, if you don't want to learn the software, if you don't have time to learn the software, just call someone like Kristen or Kristen herself. She will just do it for you. And to be totally honest, having done a few of these now, I recommend it because she'll get it done right? And that's in the end, that's what matters. So this brings us to our final and probably most frequently asked question. And everybody's going to get a chance to answer. You have 30 seconds. How are your fees structured, Debbie Roth?
We have a flat fee annually with credit card processing and a service fee. You can have unlimited events, bidders, and users. If you sign a multi-year contract, there's a maintenance fee that's less than your sign-up fee. We're running some specials now, so most of our clients use the product free up to their event, and then we deduct the cost of the software from your event.
Got it. Roger, how does schoolauction.net structure their fees?
It's an annual subscription, although right now we are running a special for a single event subscription. You can use our credit card processor, in which case the credit card rate is 3.25% plus 30 cents, or you can use your existing merchant account and in that case, it's whatever you've negotiated with your bank. And you can go to our website. We publish our pricing. It's up there for everybody to see. Nothing is hidden. You don't have to call me.
Thank you, Roger. Rebecca, how does Trellis structure their fees?
Trellis offers a transaction-based fee, so it's risk-free and you don't have to pay to get started. We do also offer some annual plans for organizations looking for additional support or reduced transaction rate. Or even better, you can actually use Trellis for free if you pass along your fees to your donors and you don't pay at all. So it's always nice. But you can go to our website and you can check it all out there as well.
Right on. So you can see, folks, the fee structure can wildly vary and does. So do your homework there. Kristen, tell us, there's some chat questions actually. How much should we budget for someone like Kristen? So how do you structure your fees?
Yeah, I've actually switched in this whole new virtual world to doing hourly rates because my scope of work has varied widely from event to event. I am typically landing between 5 to 20 hours, I would say, on an average event. So I just charge hourly and I'll work to fit, the hours into your budget. I'm here to help. I want to help everyone be successful. So just reach out and I can talk to you about that offline.
Right on. Well, thank you so much to all of our panelists for answering all of this awesome stuff. I really appreciate your insight. I'm sure our viewers do too. I had asked you attendees to please type any and all questions into the chat because we have reserved a bit of time right now to answer them. For those of you who wanted to stick to the 45 minutes, I'm so sorry, we did go over a bit. So to be mindful of time, if you want to drop off, we will record this and send this to everybody who's registered. So great if you want to stay, great if you don't. But there are some questions right here, and I'm going to allow any of you to just jump in. Sasha asked, are there options from these platforms for closed captioning during virtual events? Yeah, does anybody have an answer for this?
Yeah, so on Trellis, you're actually going to be using a platform like YouTube Live or Vimeo to stream your event. That's going to be embedded onto your Trellis page to give you that all-in-one experience. So I'll take a look at their platforms. I believe YouTube has closed captioning, and I believe Vimeo does as well.
Right on. Anybody else want to add to that?
I'll take a stab at it. Generally, you want to think of these things in two buckets. You know, everything you're going to be doing on the night. There's stuff you're going to be with regards to your live stream, at least in your video. There's stuff you're going to be doing with your video production team. They're going to have their camera, the software they like to use to process the live stream, and they're going to be outputting the live stream. And then we're going to be receiving that. We don't have closed captioning that we impose upon the video stream once we've received it, but it's actually, you know, a known functionality out there. You can ask your video production person to try to insert closed captioning or some captioning into the video stream on its way out. So that is a possibility, but no, we don't have it in the platform itself.
Okay.
Excellent question, though.
Yeah, I
Got
think
my
it's
mind
an
turned.
excellent question, and one that we get asked a lot. Typically, when we're producing a show like this, we have the live stream engineer kind of do it on the back end if we're going to do something like that. So on to our next question. Marion asked, we are inexperienced with a virtual event, but we want to plan to offer a raffle with multiple items that individuals can buy single or multiple tickets for an item. What do you recommend for our first virtual? Folks, any answers for this one?
Yeah, I'll jump in on that. So you're definitely going to need a full online mobile bidding platform then for your event. So that would be the best option for sure. You want to be able to have signups and sell all of those different items in full capacity. So you would need a full mobile bidding. So any of these options that we've gone over today would be a good fit for you.
Amen. And let me piggyback on that. Depending on where you live, check your state and local laws to see if online raffles are legal and what all the little hoops you have to jump through to offer one are. Make sure you're following those because the DOJ don't play. I'm just going to say. All right.
And there's particular rules when you're doing it online too.
Yes, there are. And they are different from when you do them in person, folks. So
yeah.
Please review the DOJ's code so that you are not breaking the law and then you get slapped with fines and other things that aren't fun.
And not just the DOJ, your state authorities as well. That's where the variation happens. That's why we can't give you a global answer here. It goes very state to state.
Right.
Even county to county.
Just to jump in on that too, we are supporting a lot of raffles across all states. So if you do have questions, reach out. We can probably give you some insights as to best handle it or your best options depending on where you live.
Right on. Emily asked, what do the platforms look like if I was running a gala with tickets, donations, etc.? And I'm not really sure what that means, but if anybody knows what that is or has an answer, please chime in.
I think this means that she's going to need to do a demo because we can all do that and show you what the different variations are with website to the bidding platform, and you can even experience it. I know we all three can do this.
Yeah, I would definitely say get a demo, Emily, because then you can see what they look like in action. You don't have to kind of pretend or imagine. You can just see it. Veronique, beautiful, asked, we usually have a paddle auctioneer, but he doesn't know how do we go about finishing an MC? Sorry, it said finishing on my thing. Finding an MC. Let me just answer this. If you're going to do a special appeal, you don't need an MC, you need a fundraising auctioneer or someone that is an actual professional at asking for money. So look on the National Auctioneers Association website and then funnel it to only benefit auctioneers. Find a benefit auctioneer. Anybody else want to add on to that one?
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I would add is we've actually got a partners listing on our website where we just list organizations or individuals we love working with. So if you want some recommended auctioneers, then check out our website, trellis.org, check out the partners section, and you can see who we've worked with in the past and who we'd recommend using again.
Same here.
Yep, must do.
We can all refer you to people in your area. But here's the thing, virtual, you don't need someone in your area. We could be in Timbuktu doing your virtual gala from a treehouse on horseback. I mean, it'd be amazing. So
let me jump in and say one thing on this, if you don't mind, Misty. When you go out there to find an auctioneer, one thing that Misty just told you is really critically important. Please hire a benefit auctioneer. Please don't hire a real estate auctioneer who dabbles in benefits on the side or does one or two for free during the year. It's a different beast. And, you know, we can see how much people raise when they've got a cowboy who's used to selling llamas versus a true benefit auctioneer who's used to working the room for nonprofits. It's a big difference.
I have one more little tidbit to add to that too, and a plug for Misty and her team is I think people don't know until they do one of these how important the scripting is. And if you are working with someone that has not done it before and is not savvy in the scripting area, you need somebody that is. It will save you so much time and pain, and Misty's team, and there's some other ones too that are great about it, but it's really important.
Amen. Amen. All right. Amy asks, can you have both one screen and two screen options for the same event so people can choose? And if so, how do donors bid if they're not logged in? Jump in, folks.
Donors don't bid if they're not logged in.
Right.
That's pretty much it. You got to know who's placing the bid, and hopefully you've got a credit card on file from them so that you can collect the money.
Yeah,
Donors
and I'll
need to log in. Now, there are, if somebody is not going to be bidding on live auction items, if they're going to be just simply making a cash donation, there are options in all of these software products for somebody to simply go to your fundraising website and make a donation without purchasing a ticket or without registering or putting in too much information. But if they're going to bid on an item, we got to know who they are. What if they win? Then we got to know who to give the item to, right? So
let me jump in real quick too, Roger, and just point out an example, because I think this is confusing for people. And I'm just going to give a really great example of this. We have an event where there's a really high-end donor. They've already paid. Let's say they gave $10,000 already, right? They have no intentions of bidding or joining again, but they want to watch. They want to see their name maybe pop up, right, during the event. Just send them a link separately. That doesn't mean you have to publish it, right? You can still be pushing out and publishing the link for everybody to sign up and bid. You always want to, promote that the most, but it is great to have it as an option, and it's something you just keep in your back pocket is really how we utilize it. So you can just send those to one-offs, right? Where there's somebody you want to be able to view the event. They're very important, but they do not want to give a card or, log into the software. So that's why we do that.
And if you're streaming on YouTube or whatever platform, your AV company can pop up the link for them to register on the fly. If somebody gets excited about a package that's being offered or wants to donate, and if the platforms have text to give or text to donate, they can send that text off and get the link to make the donation without logging in and within the system to bid. So there's lots of options for people. I've seen a phone number populated, and they had a phone bank of people taking the donations over the phone too. I mean, old school still works too.
Oh yeah, you can mix old and new school all the time. I'm all for it. Because let's just be honest, a lot of the major demographic of donor bases, they're not savvy with this technology. Like my mom, she watches cat videos on YouTube. She's not going to fundraisers, like asking her to then register second, like it's hard enough for her to find the URL in the first place. I know we all know these people. So they're worthy of a phone call and some different treatment than everyone else, I think. All right, Gwen asks, what if donors want to pay their pledge with a donor advised fund instead of a credit card? Kristen, I think this would probably be right up your alley.
Yes, this comes up all the time. So we just work those out ahead of time. Most people know, who those people are going to be ahead of time. And if they do come up afterwards, let's say they've already put their credit card in the system and they change their minds, we can, back their credit card out or adjust for that. So just make sure that, once you find out, you're working around that with them. It's an easy go around.
Totally.
I would just add on that too. The other key part of that is still making sure that those individuals get recognition. So those people now are still making a significant contribution, and it may not be through credit card, but it still matters. And so one of the things that our organizations find a lot of value in is loading up preloaded contributions, or what we call pre-seeded contributions. So in that live giving moment, we can still see those names come across the screen. and we can still see the dollar amount that they're giving affect our thermometer or drive our overall fundraising goal. And so giving that recognition is still important. So I just look at the platforms you're using for that too, and see if that's an option or how you can make that work.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Rebecca. And that's one of the things that I do at a lot of our events is add those names in as Misty or the auctioneer is reading it from the stage. So their names pop up and everyone can see them at the time.
Super important. And there was a question too about what do we do about pre-seated donations, right? Don't add them in beforehand. Do not do that. Add them in real time so that that thermometer rises, their name pops up, they get all the love that they want, because that is why donors give most of the time, is that recognition. They want the little pat on the back, whatever. So it's very important. And if you don't want to do that, you don't know how to do that, please call Kristen. Okay, folks, it's been an hour, so I want to be mindful of your time. We have a few more questions in the chat that we will answer via email. Because I think that you all have busy lives. So I want to thank all of you so much for joining today and engaging with us, asking us all these questions. I'm glad you learned a thing or two about mobile bidding software, its functionality, its capabilities, and what might be in line with what you need for your intended fundraising events. I would love to thank our panelists, our fantastic Debbie Roth from Greater Giving, Roger Devine from schoolauction.net, Rebecca Alfred from Trellis, and Kristen Smith, the user experience expert from Event Savvy. If you'd like to reach out to any of them, please contact them directly at the contact info that they provided in the chat. There will also be a slide at the end. We'd like to say a special thank you to our tech partner today, Joe, and Seamless Event Solutions for your help putting on our webinar, and to my ops manager, Sarah, for creating all the slides and answering your questions in the chat. Thank you all. Best of luck in your fundraising endeavors. We will see you next time.